Okay, so we are live already on Zoom. And yeah, so I would like to welcome our first attendees. Welcome to our webinar from the series of the subject webinars, as you already know. And my name is 𝘗𝘢𝘵, and behind the scenes, the guy behind the scenes, so to say. And as always, during this type of webinars, we have some guests from German universities who will present their unique study programs. I don't want to take a lot of your time now with me, but I have still a short presentation prepared. Let me do that, and then we will start with presentations from our guests. So umbrella topic for today is studying mechanical engineering and mechatronics in Germany. And we have three guests from three different German universities. So we will start with Fachhochschule Südwestfalen or South Westphalia University of Applied Sciences. And it's Professor Dr. 𝘱𝘠𝘵𝘠𝘪𝘈𝘪, and he will present a program, Master of Science level program in Systems Engineering and Engineering Management. Then we are moving to the Technische Universität Braunschweig or Technical University of Braunschweig. And we have Christa Hellert, who will talk about Bachelor of Science level program in Sustainable Engineering. And then we are moving to Technische Hochschule Rosenheim, or Rosenheim Technical University of Applied Sciences. And we have Florian Thoma as our guest, and he will also talk about Bachelor level program, but now in International Bachelor of Engineering. So we will get back to them very soon. But for those who do not know who we are, who is behind today's webinar, we are my German university. And when you hear about English taught study programs in Germany, maybe then it rings the bell. And it's my German university comes at the forefront. We have over 2,600 degree programs, post-bachelor level and also master's level, listed in our database. Even moreover, we also have some short courses and language courses. So in our database, in our study finder is one of the key ways of helping international students to find the best fitting program for them based on their interests and their backgrounds. And this is one of the ways. So the second way of helping you is through writing up various articles on the topics, of course, related to studying in Germany. It can be an APS certificate topic, for example, if you're interested in it, or it can be also blocked account topics, letter of motivation writing topic, Hochschulstart, fees and costs, etc., etc. All of these important topics that might be and will be useful, I'm sure, for you. And I also invite you to take a look at the articles. They're also for free, of course. All this information is provided at our website, mygermanuniversity.com. You will be able to find their study finder section, article section, and one of them is a webinar section. The third way of helping you, the third key way, is organizing webinars. We have over 150 webinars per year organized for you on various topics. It can be UniAssist, it can be visa topic, it can be scholarships in Germany, or the subject webinars like the one that you are attending today on various subjects. It can be studying engineering in Germany, studying business in Germany, studying medicine, and so on and so forth. All of the webinars that are already planned, you can find them in our webinar section, and you can sign up for these webinars for free and also attend them for free. Regarding our team, we are based in northern Germany, in Hamburg, but we are all over Germany and also all over the world. That's why we are counseling in different languages. Some of them you can see also in front of your screens. For those who are also interested in German taught study programs, my suggestion would be for you to check out also Hochschulkompass. There you might find some interesting programs related to the degrees of mechatronics and mechanical engineering. But if you are more into English taught study programs, then I would say my German university and its study finder should definitely be your stop. And you can see that we have various study programs falling under this discipline, both on bachelor and master's level, and most of them are in English only. And which means that you do not need any knowledge of German to get into these programs, and in many cases to successfully complete them, which is great for international students who are struggling at this point with knowledge of German. For those who do not know what to expect when it comes to studying mechatronics or mechanical engineering in Germany or any other disciplines, we also have specific subject pages for each of them, where you can familiarize yourself and to create for yourself a bigger picture of what does it look like, what does it mean to study this or that subject in Germany, what are the universities rankings that are offering these subjects, what are the tuition fee ranges that you should expect, and various requirements that you should meet in order to get into one of these programs. Yes, and I also suggest you to check out this general subject pages as well. And when you're searching for the right program, it's always important to take into account not one or two, not even three, but even more, up to 10 maybe various aspects when you're choosing the program. Yes, city names. For some, city names might be important, for others fees, for other rankings, for others all of them, and even more. You have to, don't forget to take into account your personal interests, your background, and your aspirations. And only after that, you can make an informed decision. This is very crucial when choosing the right university and right study program. Also, what I would like to tell you that in Germany, there are two key types, basic types of universities, which is Universität type of university, or university in English, and University of Applied Sciences. And it can have some variations in namings. For example, Hochschule is one of those variations. And the key difference in general between these two key types of universities is in focus. So when it comes to Universität type of university, usually the focus is more onto research and theory. And in case of the University of Applied Sciences, the focus usually lies more onto application and practice. And last but not least, in addition to the aspects that I mentioned before that are crucial to take into account while choosing the right university and right study program, when you're searching for the programs using our study finder, please be flexible with wordings. Don't be too rigid. When you are combining those aspects with the flexibility of using our study finder, then you'll make sure that you are informed of all of the opportunities that Germany is able to offer you, and then you are drastically increasing your chances of making the right choice. And I would like to underline that this is one of the most, if not the most crucial steps towards your successful professional career. So with that being said, now we are moving to the interesting part of our webinar. We are moving to South Westphalia University of Applied Sciences, and Professor Dr. 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝘵 is with us, as I already mentioned, and he will now talk about Master of Science level program in Systems Engineering and Engineering Management. And here also on the map, you can allocate yourself where your potential future university might be. So I'm stopping the screen share and inviting Professor to take the floor.
So thank you very much for the nice introduction, and welcome everybody. Nice that you are being here, and nice that you're taking your time for the short webinar. My name is Dominik 𝘱𝘱𝘳𝘗𝘱. I know the last name is quite difficult to pronounce, so Professor Dominik is absolutely okay. And I'm presenting today a master's course, which is actually aiming for already graduated bachelors from engineering disciplines. The title of the course is Systems Engineering and Engineering Management, and you graduate there with a Master of Science here at our South Westphalia University of Applied Sciences in our campus in Soest. Yeah, what we are actually offering, and I just want to go into the very details about that, is of course that I'm talking about the main motivation. So why you actually come to our university to study this course after you successfully graduated from a bachelor's course in engineering, maybe in your home countries. So what we found is, and we are doing bachelor education in different engineering disciplines by ourselves. So we are educating mechanical engineers, we're educating mechatronics engineers, electrical engineers. And what we found is that when we are looking what the local industries and all the companies in Europe, in Germany, and all over the world are really need, we see that there are some technological trends going on. So for example, as you know, in Germany, the automotive industry is quite strong. We have some of the leading suppliers of cars here in our company, and of course a lot of suppliers for these companies. And one of the major aspects they are dealing with today is of course the shift from classical combustion engines to electrical engines and even autonomous driving. And when you actually look into it, what is actually needed to, for example, do this shift, you need of course specified engineers which are also able to actually deal with different topics from mechanical side, mechatronics side, and even electrical side. It is not sufficient just to, know one discipline. At least you need to have some crucial knowledge about all the disciplines. The same is true for most artificial intelligence applications. So for example, if you actually want to do some artificial intelligence applications in different branches, different fields, so for example in smart farming, for example in production optimization and so on, it is very, very important that you can hire technically good educated engineers which are able to think outside of the box besides their classical discipline. And the same is true for big data applications, for Industry 4.0, the connected production facilities. And that is especially what the people are looking for in the companies here in Germany, in Europe, and also worldwide. So what is typically happening is that when you get educated in your bachelor's course in a specific engineering discipline, for example, mechanical, mechatronics, and electrical engineering, it's typically the case that you are educated to be very, very crucial with the very details of your application. So, for example, if you studied beforehand electronics engineering, you actually need to consider what is the exact value of this resistor in your circuit. If you're actually educated as a mechanical engineer, you're educated in a way that you really need to think about each and every part of your design, of your construction, which you're actually dealing with. And that is the typical discipline and the typical perspective of an engineer. And therefore, after your bachelor's degree, you're well educated to work in roles like in software development, hardware development, construction, as project engineers, as application engineers, as testing engineers, where it's absolutely necessary that you are so down to the detail. However, if you're dealing with the development of new products in this technological trend field I just mentioned, some additional aspects are needed. And what we think with this course is that we are offering a chance within your master studies to actually provide additional knowledge in systems engineering on the one hand side and engineering management on the other side, in order to give you all the facts, all the education you need to develop yourself from a classical engineering bachelor to a senior manager role, to a group leader role, to a head of department role, to a product management role, whatever it is. So what is systems engineering and what is engineering management? What are these two terms? I want to give you some insights about that. So as I mentioned, one thing which is typical for engineering education is that you are very down to the detail. However, if you are actually dealing with very, very complex systems, you need to think outside of the box and you need to actually leave as an engineer this small perspective of one specific aspect of the product. You need to actually scroll up a little bit and to see really all the aspects of a new application. Let me give you an example. If you want to actually develop, for example, a new application in Industry 4.0, which means that you want to have the interconnectivity of production facilities and not just maybe on one specific location, maybe spread over the complete world, it is absolutely necessary that you are not losing yourself in the small details. You need to have the associated tools in your mind how to access the complexity of these complex, interconnected, interdependent systems, for example, in that specific case. So that is the systems engineering aspect of the course. And on the other hand, if you want to actually develop yourself to a leading position, you need some engineering management knowledge. And this typically comprises all the aspects which actually are necessary for a leading position in a company, which means typically financing, typically management stuff, of course, project management as a major aspect of your daily life. And I know as a typical engineer, these are typically not the topics why we studied engineering in the first place. But I can tell you from my own industrial experience, of course, these are the aspects which become more and more important if you develop yourself to leading positions in companies, and you need to have some basic knowledge about that. So what is systems engineering? Systems engineering means basically we want to look at our product with all the different aspects they are. So not just specific detail, and that's why we are aiming for engineers from all the different disciplines. So if you have studied mechanical engineering, mechatronics engineering, electrical engineering, whatever it is true for all of you that you need to have a perspective where when you want to develop a new product, you just need to have in mind, of course, all the hardware and software aspects, but also aspects like the human factors, the requirements, for example, legal requirements, very, very important, for example, in the European market and worldwide, what kind of regulations are there? How to integrate those programs? What is the leadership position, risk management, verification and validation strategy? And that is exactly what systems engineering is all about. Yeah, with engineering management, we already spoke of some of the aspects as project management, for example, but it becoming more and more important, for example, to speak about aspects in innovation management. Because as you find in companies in Germany, for example, you have a lot of companies which needs to transform themselves during the next years due to the fact that digitalization, artificial intelligence, and all these actual trends coming to their domain. And we have a lot of companies worldwide which have done basically the same business for decades and decades and decades. And all these changes, of course, now need to be actually taken and need to be developed into a specific strategy for your company. So that is the idea, and that is the motivation. And we found it very interesting to actually define a specific program structure. When we first started with this course, and this we have done already 25 years ago, this is one of the Germans' first master's program ever established, due to the fact that we established this together with the university from the UK. I will speak about that a little bit later. Of course, we started it just for electronics engineers, but nowadays we are offering 3 pathways depending on your specific background. So for example, if you studied electrical engineering, you can come to our course and study the electronic systems pathway. If you studied mechanical or mechatronics or electrical, you can choose the mechatronic systems pathway. And if you are a mechanical engineer, you can study in the mechanical systems pathway. So basically we have 3 different pathways depending on, first of all, your prior education and of course also your personal interests, which is one course. When you see the different pathways, our course has just 3 semesters. So we are actually building up on a typical 7-semester bachelor program. If you have just a 6-semester bachelor program, you need to do some additional modules before you can actually enter the course. The first 2 semesters are taught module semesters, which means in that course you have in total 8 different modules where taught lectures is the main aspect of your course. And the last semester is the master's project and the colloquium. And the different pathways are basically just, of course, taking care of your prior education, which means that some of the modules are not really valid, for example, for a mechanical engineer, while others might be not so interesting for electronics engineers. So for example, we have one module, signal processing, which is typically comprised of digital signal processing techniques, and that is only interesting for electronics engineers. So the other 2 pathways will study a different module. And the same is true for the 2nd semesters, while the mechanical system guys studying monitoring of mechanical systems, the others do microprocessor-based systems. The rest of the modules are the same for all the pathways. Let's have a look shortly on the different modules. As I said, in total we only have 8 modules, taught modules, and the master's project. And of course they comprise the typical elements which we think are needed in order to actually educate yourself from a standard engineer to a leading engineer in your company. For example, technical publications and presentations. So from my personal experience in industry is, of course, when you're in a leadership position, you need to be able to communicate with people. You need to be able to actually sell your ideas to others, even inside of the companies or outside of the companies, to stakeholders or clients. So very important that you're actually doing this specific element, and here you can practice within an academic international context. Business and engineering is basically the get-to-go module, which gives you all the basics in engineering business. So that means all the business aspects a typical engineer shall know. Things like how my business is organized, management techniques, portfolio analysis, cost calculation, price setting, sales processes, business to customer, business to business marketing stuff. So the base package of business and engineering. Yeah, why project management is important for engineers in a leading position, I think there is no discussion needed. That is quite clear. Integrated management is a module which is dealing with software engineering, innovation of processes, quality management systems, environmental management system, agile project management. These are all the common modules for all the different pathways. Then, of course, we have a systems engineering module, which of course is dealing with exactly this change of your perspective in your mind from the very, very detailed to a little bit of a bigger aspect. And we are doing it based on a machine learning aspect. So we are typically choosing within this module typical applications and try to develop and try to implement machine learning applications where you actually need exactly this perspective on the process. Advanced control technology is basically an advanced module in control technology, which we found also very, very important for all the different aspects here. Signal processing, we already mentioned that is digital signal processing just for electronic pathway. Microprocessor-based systems is typically an embedded system design course where we are dealing, for example, with Python programming, Raspberry Pi, all these typical elements you actually will deal with when you develop embedded systems, for example, also cloud connectivity. Then we have advanced production engineering, also very important, and also a lot of, the local companies are asking for people with knowledge in this specific field. So for example, how production processes get optimized, how you actually do factory layout planning stuff. Yeah, and then modeling and simulation of mechanical systems, which is actually a very important aspect for the validation and verification of mechanical systems nowadays. So these are the taught modules of the course. Now I have one special element of this course. As I said, we started it 25 years ago as a course together with a university in the UK, and that is the University of Bolton, near Manchester, near Liverpool in England. And of course, since we started this course, there is still up to date the possibility that we can offer a double degree option, which means that when you actually think about studying this course with us, we are offering to all of our students the possibility to study the first semester here in Soest and go for the second semester to the University of Bolton in the UK, and then you can come back for the master's thesis either to Soest or you stay in the UK. Of course, this is dependent to additional student fees. In Germany there are no tuition fees. You just need to pay a little amount for example, your train ticket. But of course, in the UK, that is a different aspect. But nevertheless, we have a special arrangement with this university since we have started the cooperation 25 years ago. And they are running basically the exact same course with the exact same modules over there. So you can study without losing any kind of time. Yeah, let's speak a little bit about our location. I started with the program first, and now you shall know who we are and where we are located. The University of Applied Sciences, South Westphalia, or South Westphalia University of Applied Sciences, is actually a university which is spread about 5 different campuses in Hagen, Iserlohn, Meschede, Lüdenscheid, and Soest. All these campuses are located in the western part of Germany, near the Ruhr area, so the most populated area in Germany. We have in all those 5 campuses, in total, roughly 13,000 students. But of course, since 13,000 students are spread over 5 different campuses, each of the campuses is quite small. For example, we are located in Soest and we have approximately 4,000 students here at Soest. And we are offering bachelor and master courses in engineering, natural science, economics, agricultural science, and also educational sciences here. Yeah, the city of Soest is a small to mid-size city with 50 to 60,000 inhabitants. It has a very historic old town, which most of the international students are really like. And the good thing is that you will actually find a big international community over here at our campus, because at this campus alone, we are running in total 4 different international programs, bachelor and master's programs. So we have a very, very big international community here at the campus, besides, of course, all our German-speaking courses we have. We are a real campus university, which means that you will find all of the elements of the university on one campus near the city center, with all the different buildings like the lecture halls, library, mensa, the labs, and also faculty buildings are located here on one historic campus where we can actually meet. This is a top view on our wonderful campus here. Yeah, here of course, some views of the faculty buildings. Of course, we have a lot of different labs due to the fact that we have on the campus actually the Faculty of Electrical Engineering, Mechanical Engineering, and Agricultural Engineering, and all of them are running different labs. And of course, as a master student, you will actually get in touch with most of them. We even have a dedicated 3D printing additive manufacturing center here on the campus. Yeah, just some view in our lecture halls. Of course, also there the range goes from very big to very small. Typically within this master course, we are medium-sized lecture halls. This is what you typically see. Yeah, this is a very special building. I always like to share, because our campus is a former division of the military army of Belgium, which was then used as the university campus. And this is the former church of this military division here, which now acts as a high voltage lab, actually. That is why we have this specific kind of architecture over there. Yeah, this is a view into our library facility. Of course, the physical books getting less and less important. Nowadays, most of the students like the digital and e-resources we are offering within our library. So, last step, let's go. One additional point for this course is we are taking admissions, new students in winter and in summer term. So that means you can either apply for start in the winter semester or in the summer semester. And the complete application process for international students is done by UniAssist, which you probably already know. And of course, for all applicants from European countries, or when you have done your bachelor degree at a European country, maybe in one of the universities which are also presenting today the bachelor degrees, of course, you can also apply outside of UniAssist. Yeah, I could just highly motivate you, if you have any further questions about this particular program, just to contact directly me as a course director. I'm answering usually all the emails. I see that just the email address is already posted in the chat. So feel free to contact me at any given time. And Ulrike Meester is the head of our Systems Engineering Management Administration Office. You can actually also contact there. Yeah, basically, that's all I want to say. And of course, I would look forward to actually meet maybe some of you at one point in time here on our local campus. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for being here. And of course, I'm also open for all your questions in the chat or in the Q&A section. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you, Professor, for a very comprehensive and detailed presentation. With that being said, let us move now to our next speaker. And we are now moving to the Technische Universität Braunschweig. And as I already introduced earlier, it's Christa Hellert with us, and she will now talk about Bachelor of Science level program in Sustainable Engineering. So those who are interested in bachelors, come closer to the screens. And then, yeah, you can also locate where Technische Universität Braunschweig is located also on the map that we are presenting right now. I will stop the screen share, and please, Christa, take the floor.
Thank you very much, Georgi, and thank you everyone for joining us for this presentation. I will share my presentation with you. Please let me know if you cannot see it. No, okay. Well, yeah, welcome to the presentation of our Bachelor's Program of Science, Sustainable Engineering at our Technical University of Braunschweig. Before I start introducing this program to you, I would like to talk a little bit about the city of Braunschweig and give you an idea of what it looks like. We are in the northern part of Germany, roughly between Hanover and Berlin, and you can also see that Bremen and Hamburg are not far away, and the international airport of Frankfurt is about 3 hours away by train. If we zoom in a bit further, you can see Braunschweig again right here. To the south, we have the Harz Mountains, where you can go for a day trip if you're interested in any outdoor activities such as hiking, biking, cross-country skiing, things like that. And also, Wolfsburg to the north is very near to Braunschweig as well, and you might know it as it is the headquarters of Volkswagen. If we zoom in even a bit further, you can see an aerial shot right here with the city center here surrounded by the small river Oka and a lot of green parks. And the main campus is right here, so right next to the city center. You can bike or walk into the city within a few minutes. Overall, Braunschweig is a medium-sized city of about 250,000 inhabitants. It is easy to bike anywhere, I guess, within 20 minutes or use public transport, and therefore you do not need a car, which I find very convenient. It is a very green city. We have lots of parks, ponds, the river Oka, and you can do many outdoor activities. And also the city center, you can see right here, is very interesting, as you can see the medieval structures, the old castle, the old cathedral, the lion, which is the symbol of Braunschweig, are right in the city center. You can see the same area by night and with the Christmas market right here on the top. Next to it is a rebuild of the old palace, which was destroyed in World War II and now houses the library and archives and a museum. Below in the bottom row, you see here our theater. So there are a lot of theater productions going on, as well as concerts. And then a more modern building, the so-called Ritzy House, also near the city center. A few impressions of our university. The top left is the House of Science, where the Student Center is housed. On the right bottom side, you see the same building at night with the light installation. Above here, you see the Aeronautics Research Center located in Braunschweig, where some of our institutes are also situated. And also the welcome speech of the president in the Braunschweig Stadium for all freshman students, which was just held last week because we just started in October. Braunschweig is also the most active research region in Europe if you look at the level of spending on research and on development. So if you look at some numbers, you see that Braunschweig is #1, and then you have Stuttgart and Karlsruhe. And the reason for this, among others, is that there are very many research centers and institutions in the area, and we have partnered up with a lot of them. So we do have research alliances with different universities. We are a member of the TU9 Alliance, and have other institutions in the area. For example, the Physikalisch-Technische Bundesanstalt, that's the national Center for Metrology in Germany, where the atomic clock sits, for example. The German Aerospace Center with the research airport is also located in Braunschweig. The Helmholtz Center for Infectious Diseases is located here. So therefore, there are many opportunities for research, but also if you look for internships and things like that. Overall, we are a university of about 16,800 students with 6 faculties, where the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, where this particular program is housed, is the largest one. Right here, you see the old main building where I'm sitting at the moment. And we do offer a lot of services to our students. Be it you're interested in languages and want to take classes at the Language Center, the Sports Center. We have a lot of clubs and initiatives in music, in arts, in theater, whatever you're interested in. We have the Green Office to make the university more sustainable. Then also we have different kinds of counseling services if needed, also mentoring programs for freshmen, but also for students in higher semesters. And then for international students, we do have the International Student Support Team, who organize lots of things and who advise you whenever needed. They organized the Welcome Week just 2 weeks ago. They organize different support programs throughout the semester, and also in events and excursions to get to know the area and also each other if you would like to take part in these programs. Overall, we have about 19% of international students and have lots of partnerships around the world, be it for study reasons or also for research reasons. International is one of the keywords. Now moving on to our specific program, Sustainable Engineering of Products and Processes. The UN developed or gave out their Sustainable Development Goals in 2015. And we all know that we have a lot of challenges to tackle. And we thought that if you're into mechanical engineering and interested in that, then that might be your way to go. So we took our program of mechanical engineering and added the aspect of sustainability to it, because we do think that if you take global solutions, if you have systems and products that are sustainable, and if you not only look at environmental sustainability, but also at, for example, economic and social sustainability, this can be part of the solution to solve these challenges. Therefore, this program is bilingual in English and German, and also international focus. With an international focus, you get a solid education in mechanical engineering, plus the emphasis on sustainability. The foundation modules in the beginning are in German or English, so you can decide, do you want to take it in English or in German? Overall, in the end, you will receive a Bachelor of Science, as we are a technical university. This program is designed for 6 semesters and 180 credit points. It starts in winter, that's October here. And I already said that there are mentoring programs in place to support international, but also German students. And if you still want to improve your German, you can do so and take German language classes and incorporate them into your program. This is what it actually looks like. The light green modules on the bottom, about half of it are compulsory modules of the program, and they are divided up into 4 areas. So you do take classes in fundamentals of engineering, for example, engineering mechanics, engineering applications, for example, material sciences, classes in math and in IT, and also in sustainability, for example, energy systems. And then once you've completed the foundation modules, you move on to your area of specialization, and I'll talk about those in a minute. You take one integrated module, and there you can, for example, take language classes, self-development classes, or anything outside your specific curriculum, whatever you're interested in. To gain some more practical experience, you will have one internship of 10 weeks, and then you complete your degree with your bachelor thesis in the end. If you're interested in learning about ways to design and produce more sustainably, then the specialization sustainable production might be interesting to you. Among others, you will, for example, talk about the life cycle of products. So not only when it's used, but also how is it produced, and also what happens with it at the end when you cannot use it anymore. Can it be reused, recycled, whatever? And within this, the specialization, also the basics of mechatronics are included, if that is a field you're interested in as well. If you would like to know more about sustainable ways of energy conversion, for our daily supply of electricity, for example, or sustainable processes that convert materials into products such as medications, toothpaste, things like that, then you might be into sustainable energy and process engineering, because so far we've been very, very well with mass producing lots of things at a very low cost, but we need to take on a more holistic view and take into consideration the ecological and social impacts of this as well. Or, and this is the third specialization, you're interested in looking more at the mobility aspect of our society and learn more about sustainable mobility concepts, then this might be for you. You look at the automotive engineering and aerospace engineering. For example, the research cluster of excellence, sustainable and energy efficient aviation is located here in Braunschweig, together with the research airport. I already talked about that, the German Aerospace Center, but also we have Siemens here, Siemens Railway or Volkswagen. So they are very strong in the area as well. And as you might guess, there will be an overlap in certain areas within these 3 specializations. A quick word about application. If you're interested in joining us and joining this program, it is a non-restricted admission. That means there will be no ranking depending on your grades. However, there are a few requirements that you need to meet in order to enter the university. You have to have a German university entrance qualification. And this being a bilingual program, you need to meet certain German language requirements as well as English language requirements. If your German is not at DSH1 or test of level 3, you can start with a lower proficiency level and then prove this level by the end of the 3rd semester. And then you also have to have a internship of 8 weeks. Again, if you cannot complete this, maybe you can complete only 4 weeks or you can't complete it at all, it can be deferred until the end of the 4th semester. Just a quick word of caution. Number one, if you're interested in joining, make sure your German level is as high as possible, because it is possible to reach level 3 by the end of the 3rd semester. But the higher your proficiency level is in the beginning, the easier it gets for you. Same with the internship. The more you can do beforehand, the better, because there's another internship coming up of 10 weeks later in your studies. At the moment, the deadlines are, or the application period is June 1st to July 15th. And if you're EU citizens and don't require a visa, then it would be October 15th. Please check if maybe the startup application period might be earlier, because this might be changed next year, maybe a little bit later. So check our websites to make sure whether you can maybe apply earlier and have more time also in the visa process. There is no Uni Assist, so the registration is straight through the university's application website. A quick word about fees and costs of living, which is always interesting to many students. There is no application fee, and the program is tuition free as well. Only if your school or university qualifications need to be assessed, you have to pay 75 euros. If that's already been done, then you do not have to pay this at all. There is a semester contribution of approximately 370 euros in every semester, so every 6 months. And for that, you get lots of services. You get subsidized meal at the cafeteria. You get a free transportation, so a free bus pass within Lower Saxony. So you can get everywhere for free. Overall, Braunschweig is an affordable city to study compared to Germany as a whole, and the International House of our university estimates the cost of living at approximately 940 euros per month. However, that is of course depends on your individual way of living. It can be more, it can be less. And if you're interested in scholarships or anything about financial aids, please check also our website on financing your studies. I hope to be able to answer all your questions today, but if there are any questions later on, please feel free to contact us via email or via phone, and we'll get back to you. And I hope to see some of you in Braunschweig. And yeah, thank you very much for joining us today. Bye-bye.
Great. Thank you very much, Krista. Another very good presentation. And now let us move to our last speaker for today, and then we'll open the floor for the live Q&A session, dear attendees. If you have just joined, so that you know, in around 15 minutes, we will have a live Q&A session where all the questions that you send will be answered live by our guests. So now we are moving to the very, very south of Germany, a walkable distance to Austria, as you can see, and it is Rosenheim Technical University of Applied Sciences. And Florian Thoma now will talk also about bachelor level program in International Bachelor of Engineering. So Florian, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Let's see. Okay. So my name is Florian. I work at the international office of Rosenheim Technical University of Applied Sciences, or as we say, TH Rosenheim. And I'm very happy to also tell you about the bachelor's program that we have. It is a special program that I worked on with my colleagues at the Faculty of Engineering and the international office, and it's especially meant for prospective bachelor students who want to become engineers in Germany and also want to learn the German language. So let's look into that. First, I want to tell you a little bit about the university and where we are located. So we are at the very south of Germany. I would just open up the laser pointer for you. So we are at the very south of Germany, very close to Austria, and we have 4 locations actually. Today I will show you our main location in Rosenheim and also our smaller location in Burghausen that we have. Our university is organized in 10 faculties, And we have more than 35 bachelor's degree programs to offer, and over 15 master programs in total. Our main core areas of studies are business, technology, design, health, and social studies. But today we will look into technology studies. We are a medium-sized University of Applied Sciences, around 6,500 students who study with us, and we have around 270 lecturers teaching at our faculties. I think we can cut this one short because we already talked a little bit about universities of applied sciences. They are very popular amongst international students and also amongst German students. 40% of all students in Germany study at universities of applied sciences. And the main benefits that you have is application of knowledge. You have internships, cooperation with companies. The study groups are small. The study plans are structured. And our professors come from industry. That means they don't just have an academic background, but also real-life work experience. Here are 5 benefits that you can look forward to if you decide to study at the University of Applied Sciences in Germany. A very good, excellent very good professor-student ratio. We have many labs, in fact, more than 100 labs that are waiting for you if you come studying with us. The learning is hands-on. You don't have to pay tuition fees to study at a public University of Applied Sciences in Germany. And there are also great salaries and a strong industry in this area to look forward to. Now, looking at the city of Rosenheim, here you see a closer view. We are very, very close to Austria. It's really in an almost walking distance, definitely in a biking distance. And the mountains, the Alps are very close. We have more than 60,000 people living in Rosenheim. Many high-tech industries are especially located in Munich. Munich is just a train ride of, let's say, 30 minutes away. I live in Munich and I'm a commuter, so it's really easy to reach. But also other capitals, you are so fast in, let's say, Vienna in Austria by train, or also Italy is actually very close, or Czech Republic with Prague, also easy to reach. And now looking at Burghausen, where our smaller campus is located, it's part of the so-called 𝘗𝘓 Bavaria. And it's also a nice spot to start your career. It's a smaller town, around 20,000 people live there. But in fact, 50% of the Bavarian chemical workforce comes to Burghausen for work. There are many companies in that industry, let's say petroleum or chemical sector, some which have more than 8,000 people working there. And another fun fact, it also has the world's largest castle, which you can see here. Now looking at the costs of living, so the biggest part of the cost of living per month are obviously the dormitories or private accommodation. But if you add meals, your insurances, other expenses for, let's say, partying or going out, traveling a little, we usually recommend the students to expect around 1,000 euros per month as their budget. But other than that, you don't have to pay tuition fees. They are just the student administration contributions, which are at 85 euros per semester, so every 6 months. Now, looking at the program, International Bachelor of Engineering, that I want to show you, especially if you're interested in, let's say, mechatronics or mechanical engineering, here are some key facts about this program. It starts always in the summer semester. For us, that's in the middle of March. It's a Bachelor of Engineering program. You get to pick 1 out of 10 specializations as an engineer as part of this program, and it's offered in Rosenheim or in Burghausen. What's special about this program is that we have integrated German language classes into your courses of study. So you have a good preparation for working in Germany during your studies or after your studies or for a German company. This is made possible by a common first semester where you study the engineering fundamentals together, and you have more time to pick your specialization. So you don't have to know your specialization up front. You can still decide during the first semester where you want to specialize in. And we have a network of industry partners who support you. Now, if we look into it, those are the specializations that you can pick. Rosenheim, being the bigger campus, offers 7 specializations. So electrical engineering and information technology is offered, energy and building technology, engineering and management. At other universities, also called industrial engineering. Mechanical engineering is offered, mechatronics is offered, medical technology, and plastics engineering. And now in Burghausen, which is more in the Chem Delta, so in the chemical or petroleum sector, you can choose between chemical engineering, environmental technology, or process automation technology. If we look at the course structure, you will spend 3 semesters studying your engineering fundamentals in English language. For that, you will need an English level of B2, and you already need a German level of A2 with your start of studies. And we have integrated the German language classes into your semesters. So you will make a switch into the German studies after 3 semesters. And then you will continue your studies in German and study with the German students, with also the engineering specialization that you picked taught in English. There is a practical semester in the 6th semester for you. And in total, this program runs 8 semesters. That's 4 years of studies. Here you see a detailed view, for example, how the mechanical engineering specialization would look like. So you will first have fundamental courses like maths, applied informatics, engineering mechanics, electrical engineering. And during the first 3 semesters, always German. So first you will do general German courses, and then you will move on into technical German, which focuses on engineering language. So this is for mechanical engineering. And here you see it for mechatronics. As you see, the modules during the first semester are completely the same. So you still can decide during the first semester what your specialization would look like. So if you already know, I want to be a mechanical engineer in Germany, you're good to go. You can just study with us. If you decide to make a switch to, let's say, medical technology, or even want to switch to, let's say, Burghausen, that's still possible during the first semester. Yeah, I'm showing you some testimonials of our current students who are studying in the program. For example, 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝘵𝘯𝘪𝘯𝘨, she's a student from Zimbabwe. She said, the learning environment is amazing and the teachers are so patient. I got to make new friends through the international office. That was great. What I love the most is seeing the mountains every morning when I walk to my classes. I already mentioned the network of industry partners that we have. So we have a big network right now. I think it's almost 50 companies who want to support, especially the international students coming to us. So here you see some big players like Wacker, which is very big here in the region. Also 𝘗𝘀𝘧𝑥 and Infineon are big companies, but also some medium-sized or family businesses who want to support international students. They support you with internships. We offer company visits each semester. There are also dual study options, working student positions, and you can also write your bachelor's thesis with these companies. If you want to apply, you're actually now in a pretty good time, because this program always has an application period from the 1st of November to 15th of January. We also work with UniAssist, so you can apply to UniAssist starting in September, but we also accept former UniAssist reviews of your higher education entry qualification. And the academic calendar is always from the 15th of March to the end of July. And then the winter semester for us starts on the 1st of October and runs until the middle of February. We don't have to go through this in detail. I just want to show you this. So we also don't have restricted admission. So as long as you fulfill the entry qualifications, the entry requirements, then you will also receive an admission to the program. And the admission requirements are a review of your school diploma by UniAssist, and you need a B2 level in English, where we accept the most common language certificates, and also an A2 certificate for your German language, where we also accept the most common certificates that are offered. Here's just a quick rundown for you how the application works. So we do have information sheets where you also find the details for all of the programs. You can pre-check with the 𝘸𝘪𝘵 admissions database. If you qualify for studying in Germany, then you apply for the VPD. Then you can prepare your language certificates for German and English. Then you can apply online with our application portal. It can all be done online, so you don't have to do paperwork and send us your documents by mail. and then you receive your admission to the program and you can prepare your stay in Germany. Here are just some additional services that we offer to our students. So there are language programs. You also have a buddy program. There will be a welcome week where we show you around and help you with your arrival to Germany. There's housing on campus. We do have student tutors who you can talk to. We have German language classes, also other language classes if you like. You can follow us on social media where we share regular events that we have for international and German students. And there are also helping and support services, especially for financing your studies. The easiest way is finding a job in Germany. That's the most common way to finance your studies. So we do offer career services like workshops and coachings. There are also CV checks for your application. We do have an exclusive online job board for our students to match them with other companies. There are company fairs just on our campus. We have company visits with our industry partners, and there are also scholarships directly by our university. There are semester term grants for all international students, and there are especially industry scholarships for students who decide to study in 𝘱𝘓𝘳𝑚. For the accommodation, there are actually 3 ways to find a place to stay. The student residences, which are the most budget-friendly opportunity. There are many student residences directly next to the university or in Rosenheim. Actually, anywhere in Rosenheim is easy to reach by bike or by foot, so you're good with that. There's also the shared flat option, which is very common also among German students. And you can also book private apartments all over Rosenheim or 𝘱𝘓𝘳𝑚. And to sum up, here are some main benefits waiting for you if you decide to study at our university. So you don't have to pay tuition fees. You have German courses as part of your studies. You can pick your specialization later on. There's a very practical approach to learning, and you have a top-class industry network. We also have info sessions that you can sign up to if you want to speak to 2 professors of the programs. And that's it. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, feel free to leave us an email and we will come back to you. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Florian, for your presentation. And all the emails that were mentioned during these presentations are also in the chat, dear attendees. You can take a look. And as 2 programs mentioned, UniAssist, I also put the link to the UniAssist articles that we have. And it's quite also a very good situation because in case of the South Westphalia, I think it was just UniAssist mentioned, but Florian also mentioned VPD, which makes it a bit different. So we talk about this in our article, so no worries regarding that. And yeah, UniAssist costs 75 euros. There was a question, first application in every semester. And for the next application in the given semester, it's already 30 euros, 30. So that being said, once again, thank you very much, everyone, for your presentations. And let me start with a very general question. I saw there was a little bit of a confusion regarding this university versus University of Applied Sciences. If I have a University of Applied Sciences, will I be able to do a PhD in Germany, for example? What is the main difference? Should I be worried about that? Of course, I touched upon this difference very briefly, but now I would like to ask you to add, to somehow clarify the doubts and to explain to students what are the key differences that would you say that you would address from your side. So let me start maybe with Professor 𝘱𝘳𝘳𝘵.
Yeah, thank you. Of course. So the main difference, of course, Florian also mentioned that, of course, we are usually more towards the practical application of the knowledge and closer to the companies nearby. And of course, we have with everything we are doing, always asking ourselves, what is the practical implication of what we are teaching? I think that is the main difference to the classical university. When it comes to the formal issues, yes, of course, when you graduate, for example, with the master's program from a University of Applied Sciences, of course, you can do your PhD at any German university. And also most of the German universities of applied sciences have some kind of PhD programs. I can just, of course, tell you for my perspective here at the South Westphalia University in Soest, we have in the state of North Rhine-Westphalia, we have what we call the PhD colleague, which is basically an association of universities of applied sciences and classical universities to actually offer to the students joint PhD programs, which means that you can then, our professors can actually become member in this specific association and do PhD programs. We have also a lot of PhD students here at our faculty, which are doing their PhDs in cooperation with universities, German universities, and even international universities. So with this question, absolutely you can, absolutely. Yeah, major difference regarding the personal, I think that was also mentioned several times, is that all professors at universities of applied sciences are obliged to have at least 3 years of industrial experience, which is one of the major differences, because the usual, let's say, university professor never left the academic system, so to say. Of course, there are also exceptions on both sides, but that is the main aspect. And of course, most of the universities of applied sciences have a tendency, of course, to focus on the typical, engineering, economic disciplines, which are closer to the companies. We are not offering, for example, studies in humanities, for example, or medicine or law. That is typically not what is offered at universities of applied sciences. I think that is more or less the picture.
Yeah, that was very good. Thank you very much, Professor. That was very good explanation. But I would like to ask also, maybe Krista, would you like to also add from your side anything, or Florian, or you are fine with this answer?
Yeah, I mean, we're not the University of Applied Sciences, so at our faculty, you can, of course, then proceed with your PhD. That then depends on your grades of your master's and so on and so forth. But yes, here we have lots of professors who support you with your PhD. Yes. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Krista. So the next question, again, general one to all of you. So the question is, there was a question from Ludwig, a specific question, but I will generalize it. If students have, for example, or applying for bachelor's or for your master's programs, they have extra work experience, do you take it into account, for example? Does it strengthen their application, or it does not matter that much at that point? Let me start with Florian.
So if you have additional work experience, that is very good, but usually it's not recognized as part of a module for us, but it definitely helps, especially for finding a job then, yes.
Okay, great. Krista, what would you say?
Yeah, the same for your application. It doesn't make any difference because there is no ranking. If you meet the requirements, you're in. So for that, it doesn't change anything. Depending on what you've done, it might be recognized as part of the internship, either the pre-internship, the 8 weeks, or later the 10 weeks. But that needs to be checked. There is no general answer to that. So that would be checked individually.
Clear, thanks. And Professor 𝘱𝘳𝘵?
Yeah, for us, basically the same. So of course, this is a plus. And of course, there was also questions, for example, regarding your research activities in the past. Maybe you have some patents. Of course, this is a plus. And of course, it's considered, but especially I think it is helping when you're, for example, looking for a part-time work beside your studies. If you want to, we have a lot of, master students who are starting here, which are more or less go directly to some professors to work in their labs beside their studies. And of course, there it is enormously helping if you have working experience.
Okay, clear. Thank you very much, Professor. Now I have question for 2 bachelor programs. I saw this question a couple of times, and I would like to ask. So if after the self-evaluation, for example, of the certificate, of high school certificate, it says that, okay, you can get into Germany, but first you need to do a Studienkolleg or this preparatory course. Do you have it at your locations or nearby, or what students need to do extra additional step to get eventually into your programs? Let me start with Krista, because she already addressed one of these questions.
Right. The Studienkolleg here would be Hanover, but as far as I know, you apply here and then they send your application to Hanover, and they then have their own ranking list and decide who to invite to the entrance examination. I posted the link in the question, but I can also post it here in the chat. And there you find more details on how the procedure works. But you apply first here, and then they send it to Hanover, and then the rest goes on from there.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
I'll put the link in the chat as well.
Great. Perfect. Thank you. And Florian, what would you say?
So the Studienkolleg or preparatory course for universities of applied sciences in Bavaria would be in Coburg. It's still in Bavaria, but it's definitely not next door for Rosenheim. Personally, I wouldn't recommend doing a Studienkolleg. I would rather see if you can attend a university in your home country for 1 year and complete that, and then skip the Studienkolleg and get a direct admission. I think that would be better, actually.
Yeah, that's a very good advice, Florian. Actually, yeah, in many cases, dear attendees, as Florian said, when you have 2 completed semesters in at your home country in bachelor, then in many cases you can already directly get into German bachelor program. So very good advice. Now, Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘳𝘵, special question. This is for you because it's about master's program. So maybe the students cannot believe that sometimes you don't need any knowledge of German to study in Germany. So just to underline this once again, so in your program, you need only English and no German is required, right?
Since this is a course which is completely taught in English, we do not actually give any requirements for German knowledge. Of course, we are offering also German courses here at our faculty. And of course, I'm telling all my students even at the welcome day that, of course, it is very, very helpful to learn German when they are here, because for the job market, this is very, very important that you learn German. Even if all companies in Germany will say we are looking for international students, we have an international perspective. Of course, speaking good German is absolutely helping with your job search, but there is no entry requirement where we ask a specific German entry level.
Thanks a lot. Now, this general question that I promised to ask also from Morteza. Hi, please tell me about the effect of patents in your evaluated process. I have 3 patents in WIPO and 9 patents in IRAN. So to put it shortly, if students have patents, also is it recognized somehow? Does it play a role in the application, or yeah, it is good, like in case of job experience, work experience, but really it will not put you in front of another applicants who have maybe better GPA, for example. Did I understand correctly? Professor, let me stay with you first.
Yes, absolutely. That is a plus as well. As I said, even if you have, for example, talking now for master's degrees, if you have research papers published and stuff like that, that is helping, of course, to give you a profile here at the faculty, but it's not an entry requirement.
Okay, clear. Florian?
Yes, same with us. So since we have no GPA, it won't matter for the application itself, but it will definitely help during the studies. Yes.
Perfect. And Krista?
Same here. I agree.
Perfect. Very good. Now, another general question. Let me start with Rosenheim in here. So when students apply, when they should expect to get an answer, rejection, or as acceptance? What is usually the procedure? What would you say?
So they should expect up to, let's say, 3 or 4 weeks. Right now, I know yesterday we have had the first application and they already received the admission. So now if you apply early, you will also get an early response from us. Yes.
Okay, so they don't have to wait until the deadline. I mean,
no. You can just apply. You can finish your application once you have all your documents ready. 15th of January is just the last day to submit all your documents.
Okay, yes. Great. Krista?
Yeah. Same. It depends when you apply. So again, it's not going to happen after the deadline because it is non-restricted. However, it really depends. Depends when you apply and how many people apply at the same time. So to be honest, I cannot give you a specific time frame. As soon as possible. But if there are like hundreds of people applying at exact the same time, it takes longer than in the beginning, maybe. Yeah,
that's true. And yeah, Professor?
Yeah, same here, basically. To give an exact time frame is always difficult because it highly depends how many applicants are there, how fast we're getting all the information from UniAssist, but we do also a rolling, of course, procedure, so you definitely do not need to wait till the deadline.
Perfect. And let me ask you also last question for today. Regarding the age, so the potential applicant is asking, so do you have any age restrictions? I'm 39 years old and I finalized my degree in 2007 and had then 14 years of work experience. So being 39 years old, will you block me from this opportunity or not? Generally, age restriction at your programs. Let me start with Krista.
Quick answer, no.
Great.
Doesn't matter.
Thank you. Florian?
Also no age restriction.
Perfect. And Professor?
Maybe for your interest, I currently have a student who's doing his master thesis with me who is actually 61. So he came here after he retired in his home country. So absolutely no age restriction. You're welcome. And of course, 14 years of experience, very good.
Yeah. So you can wait another 21 years that you can see 61 years old can get also there. Perfect. So there are some open questions also, but I would suggest, dear students, dear applicants and attendees, to get your questions to, you have the emails and you can get in touch with the specific programs also at your leisure. And most of them already were answered. And thank you everyone who also participated in answering questions, not only live, but also in the written form. Thank you very much, of course, to our guests for their wonderful presentations and being so active and clear with all of the requirements and all of the procedures. And yes, dear attendees, once again, if you have any general questions to us, of course, you can get in touch with us. We will be always happy to help you. And also take a look at our articles, because there you will find at least, I think, most of the answers already, because we took care of that already for you. And if you would like also to leave us feedback for today's webinar, you can find our pages on Facebook and also on Google. And there you can leave us a feedback, and we always take that feedback into account and appreciate it a lot, of course. That being said, thank you very much, everyone, for your time. And I hope to see you on our future webinars as well. And hopefully they will also be such fruitful like the one that we had today. Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you, Georgi, for organization. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care.